How to heal in the lane. So there's going to be a couple different ways that you're going to be able to heal in the lane. A couple items and this healer minion here. So this healer minion is going to hit you for 40 health about every 6 seconds. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you can stay in his line of sight, that you have this little green line indicating that you're going to get the heal and stay in cover. Utilizing this was going to allow you to be able to heal in the lane while still able to push your lane and take some of these minions. Now you want to make sure that you have that green line, because that green line is indicating that you are in range of the heal. You should try to stand next to that healing minion from the minute that it drops off the zip line all the way up until the point that it dies. As you can see, just from that alone, I was able to get from basically all the way back up to half HP. I can stand here a little bit longer. I'm not even using any other items, any other healing items, and I will still be able to get basically up to full HP within 2 waves. So naturally, while you're with this healing minion, stay tucked, stay in cover, poke the enemies out, shoot their minions, and get as much healing as you possibly can. As you can see at this point, I have almost full HP. Another way you're going to be able to heal in the lane is by a couple items. So the first item we're going to look at is Restorative Shot. This is just going to allow you to be able to shoot the enemies and get a heal off. So if you're able to combine this with your healing minion, you're able to get a lot of healing. Restorative Shot has its own individual cooldown, a 6-second cooldown. Essentially, every 6 seconds, you're going to have your next bullet be Restorative Shot. You can tell because it's a little green, and you're going to see a little bit of health indicator there.
Every time they think they're safe,
what happens if you shoot and miss it? You waste it. So that's the kind of the downside of Restorative Shot, is that every single bullet that it is, once that cooldown is down, is going to be a Restorative Shot bullet. So if you don't hit something, you're gonna waste it. So make sure that you're taking actual good shots and you're not wasting them on a creep that's about to dive or an enemy that's out of range. Another way to heal in the lane is extra regen. So this is actually just going to buff your base regen in general. So essentially, my regen is now going to be 5 per second. So I can kind of just stay tucked a little bit, get my healing minion, and really just make sure that I'm getting the full advantage of this regen. Naturally, if you take damage by the enemies, that this regen is going to stop. It's going to take a while before it's going to actually come back and restart, because you can't regen while you're taking damage. That may be true. That may be false. I'm not sure.
Swing by anytime.
Another item you can use is Healing Right. So this is going to give you 300 HP at this point in time. You see that it stacks with spirit. So the more spirit that you have, the more regen that you're going to have. During this time, you're going to be able to get a little bit of sprint speed as well. But it does get dispelled if you take damage from enemy players or objectives. So let's go take a look at what that looks like. So I pop my Healing Right, and if I were to take damage from an enemy, okay, that was a bad example. I've got my Healing Right. I'm gonna be able to get a decent amount of healing, and then all of a sudden an enemy does some damage to me. That's gonna cancel my Healing Right. So I no longer have my Healing Right, and I lost honestly more health in that moment, only just because that was a melee. But yeah, I lost my Healing Right, so I don't have it, and it's still on cooldown for 70 seconds. So whenever you use your Healing Right, you're gonna really want to prioritize staying tucked, staying back, and maybe even box farming. So kind of going around the map and hitting a couple of these like boxes and urns, just so you're able to kind of still get a little bit of money while still kind of be hiding from the enemies. Another item that you can use to heal in the lane is Melee Lifesteal. So this Melee Lifesteal is essentially going to give you, your next melee attack heals you, and it's going to give you 100 per melee hit. The heal is 30% effective versus non-heroes, and the cooldown is twice as long for light melees. If I were to go up and hit this guy, I got 30 HP, but now my cooldown is 16 seconds. So it's going to take me a while before I'm actually able to melee somebody else and get that off again. Versus, if I were to go up to an actual enemy and melee them, I get 100 HP right there, and then I can just wait 8 seconds and be able to get another heavy melee off. Like that, boom. Now, the detriment to that is because you're having to do a heavy melee, you do need to be aware of parries. They're going to look to parry you. they're going to look to be able to actually make sure that they negate that Q from you and get a stun on you and actually kill you.
Cute.
And the last official healing item that we're going to talk about is Mystic Regeneration. So what this is going to do is, by dealing spirit damage to the enemy, you are going to grant yourself bonus health regen. Stacks when dealing damage to different enemy heroes. So essentially, I see an enemy, I do spirit damage to him, and I'm going to get some regen off of that. You see I was able to regen about 20 health right there just from that one. Let's say I have 2 enemies here. If I'm somebody who can hit multiple enemies with the same ability, I can stack my healing. I can even use a different ability to continue that healing going. So right there, I was able to get around 72 HP, and that's not including any HP from my Flog in general. The last sort of ways that you can regain health aren't necessarily required in the laning phase, but just throughout the game, is every once in a while you're going to have an item that's going to give you regen out of combat. So you see Battle Vest is going to give you 3 out of combat regen. That means if I was not fighting, that my regen for my health is going to be increased by 3. So we see we get a couple of these items that my regen per second is now all the way up to 18. So I am out of combat and I am able to get so much health back in this one instance. Along with my already healing items, I can get up to full really quickly. Yeah, so that's just a little bit more of an in-depth video as to how to heal in the laning phase using the items that you have. My main priorities for you guys are to always stay in cover and play for your healing minion. Those are going to give you probably the most health in the laning phase, and if you can do that, stay with your healing minion and couple it with one of the other healing items in the game, you should be able to get full HP very quickly. I'm going to have here an example video for you guys as to what that's going to look like if you are really low and how long you need to kind of play safe for to be able to get to that full HP. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces. Alright, so we are now at 300 HP and not looking so good. So my main priorities are going to be buy my healing item now that I'm less than half, and just kind of staying back in the wave. So you see here that I'm not even pushing the wave, I'm not even trying to shoot them, give them a chance to do damage to me. I'm staying back and letting them push into me. I'm playing cover, I'm securing all the minions and the souls because I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on any money while I wait for my heals. So the first heal I'm going to be waiting on is going to be my minion coming down from the sky. So you'll see in a little bit, boom, there's 1 stack of healing. And now I'm just going to kind of keep walking up with him, stay nearby, and play for my melee lifesteal. So I am able to get a couple punches off and a little bit of health. And unfortunately, I get sauced up, I get stunned, but that's okay. Alright, so right here, we can see that we are 180 health, so we have to play safe. Let's take a look a little bit as to what we do and how we do that.
I see the doorman.
Alright, so you see that we were able to get a couple quick melees off that right there, just to be able to get a little bit of our health back. But because they're quick melees, our cooldown is now longer. So now we stay tucked, we stay in cover, and we look for our healing minion. So we see that we're getting a little bit of periodic healing from our healing minion just because we are staying nearby. And that's what we're going to want to prioritize. So honestly, I could have even played a little bit more to the left here to stay on that healing minion versus going in on the 7. But I was able to get a couple melees off on him, get my blasted as well, so I was able to get a little bit of extra health just in that moment. As we continue watching in this spot, truly I would want you guys to be playing on that healing minion on your left there, just to be able to get a little extra that passive healing while you're in the lane. I was just able to play a little bit more aggressive just because of my character Billy and all of my melees. So I want to talk about something here that's low-key a throw. I see that the buff goes up and I mess up my movement, and then I see that my pocket's getting kind of bad, so I have to go back. I really want you guys to make a decision and stick with it. Don't spend all that time like going somewhere and then going right back. You know, stick to the decision that you make and, you know, work with it. Now, unfortunately for me, I should have been playing for that buff sooner rather than later. Holiday got it before I even would have gotten there because I fucked up my movement. But I also needed to make sure my pocket didn't die. So that's why I had to go back to the lane. But I want you guys to just be aware, make a decision, and stick with it.
No, I don't go selling these to these
Alright. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the video. This is, I guess, is the second outro for this. But you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about, where you really need to make sure that you're prioritizing keeping your health up through your healing items and your healing minion. Honestly, in this video, I want you guys to be able to stick towards your healing minion a little bit more and continue to play cover. As you can see, there's lots of moments where I'm just working on getting my health up in the meantime. So, like here in this moment, I'm punching these minions knowing that my melee lifesteal is going to come back at some point. It never did, but I go right back to the wave and I go right back towards my healing minion. You can see that little green line indicating that I'm going to get a heal from him, and I'm just going to keep walking up with this guy the entire time. When he dies, I play cover, I play safe, I get stunned, but I keep moving all the way back because I don't want them to take more health away from me as that goes off. All in all, just prioritize having your healing item and playing towards cover and watching your healing minion. Every single time I'm off the zip, I'm going right to my healing minion to continue to get that continuous health. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.